In the heart of the sun-baked plains of West Africa, nestled between rolling hills and a lazy river that snaked through the land like a silver serpent, lay the village of Kambiri. It was a place where time moved slowly, guided by the rhythms of the earth and the whispers of ancestors. The villagers lived in harmony with nature. Their mud-thatched huts clustered around the ancient Baobab tree at the center. The Great Whisperer, they called it. This colossal tree, with branches that stretched like welcoming arms, was more than just shade and fruit. It was the guardian spirit of Kambiri. Legends said it held the village's secrets, whispering warnings in the wind to those who listened. No one dared harm it, for it was meant to stand eternal, binding the community in prosperity. Crops flourished in its shadow, children played at its roots, and elders gathered beneath it to share stories that wove the fabric of their lives. But one fateful dry season, a stranger arrived from the bustling city of Lagos. His name was Ade, a sharp-dressed man with shiny shoes that gleamed unnaturally under the village sun, and a briefcase clutched tightly as if it held the world's treasures. Ade had left Kambiri years ago as a boy, chasing dreams of wealth in the concrete jungle. Now, he returned not with humility but with ambition that burned like a wildfire. "I've come to modernize this backward place," he boasted to the villagers, his voice laced with city arrogance. He spoke of progress, roads, electricity, and money from selling the land. The elders warned him, "The Great Whisperer protects us. Disturb it, and calamity will follow." But Ada laughed, calling their beliefs superstitions. He had papers from city officials, claiming rights to develop the land around the Baobab. The suspense began subtly, like a distant rumble of thunder on a clear day. At first, Ade's arrival seemed harmless. He charmed the younger villagers with tales of city lights and gadgets, distributing cheap trinkets that sparkled like false stars. But whispers spread through Kambiri, soft at first, like the baobab's leaves rustling in the breeze. Old Mama Zuri, the village storyteller, felt it first. She sat by the tree one evening, her wrinkled hands pressing against its bark, and heard a faint murmur. Betrayal comes. Shadows awaken. She told no one, hoping it was just the wind playing tricks. Yet as days passed, strange occurrences mounted. Goats wandered off into the bush and never returned. The river's water turned murky, tasting of bitterness that made children ill. Villagers whispered of shadows moving at night, shapes that darted just beyond the firelight. Ade pressed on, undeterred. He hired a few restless youths to survey the land, marking spots for his grand plans. One night, under a moonless sky, he gathered them secretly. "We'll cut into the baobab's roots for the new road," he whispered, his eyes gleaming with greed. "It's just a tree." The youths hesitated, fear flickering in their eyes, but the promise of city money silenced their doubts. As they dug, the air grew thick, heavy with an unnatural chill. The baobab's whispers turned to low groans, audible now even to the skeptical. In the village, people stirred in their sleep, dreams plagued by visions of crumbling huts and endless drought. The tension built like a storm cloud swelling on the horizon. Days turned to weeks, and the village's harmony frayed. Crops wilted without rain, though the skies promised it. Fishermen pulled empty nets from the river, their catches vanishing as if swallowed by unseen forces. Ade dismissed it all as coincidence, pushing forward with his machines. Bulldozers rumbling in from the city, their metal teeth hungry for earth. The elders convened under the baobab, pleading with the spirits. "He has awakened the curse," they murmured. Mama Zuri revealed her visions. The tree's roots were veins of the land, and severing them would unleash famine and division. But Ada mocked them, rallying more villagers to his side with promises of jobs and wealth. The suspense dragged on, each day layering dread upon dread. Nights became sleepless vigils. Children clung to their mothers, whispering of ghosts in the wind. One elder, Baba Kofi, ventured alone to confront Ade at his makeshift camp. "Leave now, before it's too late," he begged. Ade's laugh echoed mockingly, but as Baba turned away, a root unearthed by the digging tripped him, and he fell into a trance. In his vision, he saw the village engulfed in darkness, families torn apart, the Baobab splintering like a broken heart. He awoke screaming, but Ade had already ordered the final cut. The climax crept in slowly, the air humming with anticipation. On the eve of the full moon, as the bulldozers roared to life, the Baobab's whispers swelled into a howl that shook the ground. Villagers rushed from their huts, hearts pounding. Ade stood defiant, commanding the machines forward. But as the blade touched the trunk, the earth trembled. Cracks spiderwebbed across the soil, swallowing tools and men in puffs of dust. Shadows coalesced into spectral forms. Ancestors risen, their eyes glowing with fury. The river surged, flooding fields in a torrent of wrath. Ade fled, but the damage was done. The village faced the consequences: barren lands, fractured unity, and a curse that lingered for generations. Only through collective repentance, replanting sacred seeds and honoring the tree's remnants, did Kambiri begin to heal. The moral echoed in the wind. Greed from afar disrupts the sacred balance, and all must pay the price.